Hi there everybody, welcome to guitarcontrol.com. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I thought maybe we'd do something a little bit different. You know, instead of versus it being like me showing you a lick or something like that, I wanted to talk about tone for a little bit and tone in our hands. So, you know, it's a very common saying that people say, well, the tone's in his hands. And I'm a very firm believer that that is true, but not necessarily so much in just your hands, but it's in the way you use your hands on your guitar. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're always like playing notes. It's, you know, lots of different things that are happening. And I thought maybe we could cover some of those, and maybe versus, you know, switching a bunch of pedals and stuff like that, you can get a lot of tones just from having good old 6-string in your guitar and your hands. And that's it. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. Okay, so the first tip I would have for you for controlling your tone is use your volume knob. So I know the first step initially might think would be use your tone knobs. Well, we'll get to those in a minute. But controlling your volume on your guitar is very important. On a lot of amps, if you have like a tube amp, or like I use the Axe effects and stuff like that, there should be a pretty dynamic response to when you roll your volume up and down. So like when I have my volume kind of up a little bit, notice that the guitar is pretty clean. So my guitar itself is actually not very clean. If I roll my volume all the way up, you can hear there's a lot of distortion happening here. But like I said, just by controlling my volume, I can even kind of like go down to a bluesy kind of sound. I would maybe switch my pickup selector. That's the next thing I want to talk about, is understanding what all these do. I see a lot of players who tend to just kind of like, well, honestly, sometimes it's just wherever it happens to be is where they're playing, and they're like, oh yeah, I never really knew what this thing does, or like, I know I made it sound a little bit different, but it's actually an extremely powerful tool for your tone. So like if I want a bluesier sound, like I said, obviously this is pretty rocking, not necessarily the most bluesy sound in the world. I simply flip it to my neck pickup, which has a much softer sound, and I'd roll my volume down. Now I just have a little bit of breakup going on, and all of a sudden it's much more bluesy. That's like, as I play a country lick, but it's much bluesier. So just with those two, there's a lot you can do. I went from a rather clean sound, very distorted, and then a nice bluesy. Like I said, if you hit it harder, it breaks up. You get some more of that saturation going on. But look what we just did. It's how we're picking now. So that will lead us into our next one, how you are picking the guitar itself. So what's kind of cool is you can, like I said, you hear there's some distortion, you know, on here. But if you pick softer, there's less distortion all of a sudden. Now we can even play like our nice chords. What I want to talk about is how hard you are actually picking the guitar. So obviously, you know, if you pick really hard, you get a lot more distortion. Pick really soft, it cleans up a lot. And that's why knowing the kind of feel and vibe that you want, as you progress as a player, you get more and more kind of like used to the sound that you want. Maybe you want like a real gentle, maybe you want kind of an aggressive. So that's one thing. Now, obviously, you don't have to use the pick if you don't want to. You could use your fingers. A lot of times I palm my pick. You can see like I have my pick in my hands. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen for just a second. There we go. And then like that. And then I can simply switch back to my fingers. So that in itself is another way of playing with, you know, as far as like how your right hand is attacking the strings. There's multiple techniques, you know, like sweep picking. There's economy picking, alternate picking. You know, a down. I really feel like a down pick sounds different than an up pick. So if you're playing like all downs, ups, it's, you know, especially on chords, you know, you have down, up. You're hitting the strings in a different direction, different sound. A lot of songs, like Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top will do that. We have all kinds of dynamics that are happening. He's using his fingers. When the full band kicks in, he uses picks, but he's doing a lot more upstroke. All just little things to take in, take in mind. I said it doesn't necessarily mean learning a particular lick, but just try incorporating this stuff. Like when you're playing your, scales, try playing very softly. Try playing, very loud if you want to. An extremely good thing to do is take a metronome and play one note. That's all you have to do. I saw this from Paul Gilbert. It's just... and keep it at the same speed. I don't have a metronome handy, but don't get faster or slower, but get louder and softer. When you get good at that one, then you kind of... So there's one. The way you deliver a note, that would be the next one, sliding into something. Has a different tone than hammering on. There's just so many little things that go into creating your tone that don't need a pedal, that don't need changing amps, doesn't need switching channels. Nothing like that. Do it all with your hands, and that was all with just literally some volume knob, flipping, changing to one different pickup, and how we were picking the strings. And we had a plethora of different sounds. Like I said, I could easily go to position 2, get that real signature stratty. I could talk about this stuff all day. Hopefully you found some of those tips helpful. Make sure you guys subscribe, and if you would like more of these little tone tips, let us know, and we will see you later. Have a great day.